I want to talk about public opinion. I think that at the end of the day, public opinion is very moldable. I think that I've looked into the public consciousness, and if you continue to show up in the way that you want to, in the way that you desire, you can move mountains. I believe that if we look at a certain substrate of the population, we can point to different nodes that are still not activated but are malleable, and you can raise the frequency of those nodes. So an individual most of the time needs to hear certain words, needs to hear a certain belief system, because that's something that they've been looking for. And I watched the movie yesterday. It was on. It was a coming of age movie. It was called Didi, and he was an Asian, and he's encountering. It was set like in the 2000s, and what I saw was just how much he needed that attention, that appreciation from the outside world, and I really, had me question, because I was able to see the impact that the words that the individuals around him had on him, and and then I began to question, what if I was the positive that came into his life and loved him to the point that he believed in himself, and I thought about how many individuals there are in the world that are actually seeking that validation, and so a lot of them are really ripe for influence, and so it's kind of crazy when you get into psychology of an individual, especially being in that vulnerable state of needing that validation. uh, if you can speak to those individuals, you can really change the world, and providing understanding what they need, understanding their struggles, understanding them, and really listening to them. You're able to then move mountains. I believe you're able to really transform the way they see themselves, and um, obviously at the end of the day, it comes down to the individual really accessing their power and understanding what they can do, and acting on it. But I think about also how public opinion shifts so much, and public opinion is very much driven by emotion, and um, pertaining to like the elections, for example, I've kind of tuned out of it right now. But I think about how easily influenced a lot of people are by propaganda, by marketing. It's so easy to be driven if you can if you can tap into certain elements of the psyche, and just really draw those things forward, really paint a picture, and it's almost like this is kind of where I get to that conclusion where the mass population is very easy to manipulate. Now that I see it, and that's both a positive and a negative. I think that the majority of individuals, I hope that they can think for themselves, but I also realize that a lot of us are chained by our emotions, and it takes a very thinking person, and a person who has really mastered his mind and his emotions to be able to actually think for himself, and that's the thing that I see, which is uh, there has if you come in and really, there's certain ways to really push a person to think, and sometimes you have to really break through those emotions and really break through those walls that an individual creates that pertains to their reality. And so if you can challenge an individual's reality by speaking a certain truth that doesn't align with the way that they think, you can really ignite people. You can really trigger people. But going back to the thing, I think that public opinion is almost an illusion, because it's mostly derived by emotions, which are also illusions, which are also very malleable, and so public opinion can then be shift so easily. Public perception, I believe, can shift so easily if you can have an individual that comes up and understands the way that the masses move and the masses think, and and yeah, I mean, I just think it's very interesting. And what relevance does this have? I don't know. I don't know. I think about it. I see that leaders. I guess this goes to leaders, right? Leaders are those who are able to speak and understand the psyche of an individual, and they're able to speak to the needs and the desires of that individual, and almost appeal to their emotional nature, but also give them the space to embody their true self fully. And this is a reflection of myself, my journey, what I've seen, what works, influence, etc. At the end of the day, yes, I do want to move mountains. Yes, I do want to influence the masses. Um, and I also think about it like I met this one girl. She told me she was a YouTuber, and she said that she was able to get millions of views, but just because she was kind of being a troll, she was really riding off the trends of the mass population really being triggered, and she just plays on those triggers. And I thought, how crazy, for me, it's like you're getting millions of views. Obviously, the tactic didn't work anymore, but you're getting millions of views on this specific kind of trend, and for me, it's crazy. It's like, wow, like millions of people are viewing your content because you're just appealing to their emotional nature, triggering them. And so obviously I don't want to do that. It's almost like I'm throwing the way I operate is more so from a detached perspective, where I'm planting seeds and nurturing those seeds. But it's very interesting to think for me, just because I do want to change the world. And if you're watching this and you're considering how do the masses move, it really comes down to appealing to their nature. And obviously, you don't reach the masses by looking at them as a blob. You reach the masses as a collection of individuals, and understanding the individuals that make up the masses. So at the end of the day, trends aren't created through breaking through the mold, the mass. Sorry, trends are not created by breaking through the mass. Trends are created by appealing to certain and specific individuals who have the capacity to, and have that desire to really embody something higher, or embody or be a part of something bigger. And so little by little, those individuals get activated, and so the followers follow the followers. And this could be positive or this could be negative, but hopefully my desire is to have those individuals who are receptive to the message be able to embody their own truth and authenticity, and within them, then it becomes popular to be yourself. It becomes cool to be authentic. It becomes cool to be real. And so then that becomes the general consensus and general understanding, and hopefully we can move closer to love, and that's the main goal. But yeah, I think I guess I'm realizing that it's very easy to influence the masses, and for me, I have a lot of patience, and so I'm building slowly and understanding that this is the way to do it. Oh, also, like, I'm realizing that, for example, just through my experience with YouTube, you can really trigger some individuals, and you can really get some reach, by triggering individuals, being polarizing, there's use cases to that. But um, but now that I'm seeing that, I think it's kind of like me now reflecting on the power that I have, and really, the potential that there is to really bring change. So just a reflection. My boy here is wanting to sit down. Oh crap! And I just want to share that. So that's it for now. Hopefully you found that helpful. See you in the next one. Stay lucid. Peace out.